Welcome to the Real Female Entrepreneurs. Today's guest is on a mission to shorten the distance from the door to the top floor for 1 million women. With 3 decades of corporate strategy and organizational development under her belt, she's redefining what leadership looks and feels like in the modern workplace. Human centered, totally 100%. System smart. Here we go again. Another highly intelligent woman who's going to take you to another level, and impact driven. She builds pathways, not glass ceilings. Please help me welcome the amazing Tiffany Odutoye, founder and chief and visionary officer of Virtual Partner Global Inc.
Yay! Thank you so much. I tell you what, that must be the best intro I think I've ever written. No, and that's the last joke I'm going to tell for the day. Thank you for such an amazing introduction, and thank you so much for really amplifying what I'm doing, what other women are doing. Having someone like you in this space is huge. So thank you very much for inviting me to be on your show today.
Tiffany, I am so excited to have you, but I want you to tell us about what your business does. You have actually a convention coming up. You have another book. Oh my God. So tell us about what you actually do for women and beyond because it's amazing.
Thank you very much for asking. So, Virtual Partner, we are a global consultancy. So, at our core, we do organizational transformation. And I always say I focus on the downstream impact of people, and that's what I encourage my team to do. So, really excited about the work that we're doing. We say, if you go to our website, that our work is data driven. How do we get to the impacts for, say, some of the outcomes that sustain change, like training or development, or how do businesses get to the decisions that they need to make? Well, it's the input, that data. So our initiative, How She Rises, was born out of the desire to have data drive our strategy and the recommendations we take to our customers. And so now we're in this workforce intelligence space, a niche that we're carving out for ourselves. And How She Rises was just born out of a desire to shorten the leadership runway for women and to bridge the gap between the 5 generations in the workplace, and the silver sneakers exiting, so that businesses could, really sustain themselves over all of this disruption. And so that's what I do. I love it. I'm the CEO, so I'm driving strategy. I'm driving client engagement, and I'm driving what I hope is sustainable change for 1 million women in the organizations that employ them.
Yeah, still, let's take a step back. Oh my God. So I guess I never really like thought about that. 5 generations in the workplace.
Yes, think about it. We have alpha, right? So if you're
Mhm.
25 years old, you've got alpha. Then we've got our Gen Z, we have our X, we've got our millennials, and we've got our baby boomers, all converging at the same time. And then there's the carve out of those who don't really identify with an age generation, primarily because maybe they're mixed, like myself. I was raised by a baby boomer, so I consider myself an ex boomer. I have some of those traditional values, but I'm very tech forward, very, right? So I'm that like crossover generation, and across other generations there's the crossover too, right? So some of our alphas really, some of their values are crossing over into other generations. So we have the 5 in the workplace, with each having their own distinctive ways that they think, value centers. And as some of us ex boomers and boomers are exiting, right? Retirement, buyouts, there's this making space for the new generation. And one of the challenges that we've identified in our research program is that readiness, organizations need to really close that readiness gap for the 5 generations in the workplace. So they may be functionally ready, but the ability to lead people, lead other people without causing toxicity in the workplace, that is a skill set and some rigor that we're coaching organizations to build.
Okay, you're so right because all right, guys, I am the last year of the baby boomers. I don't act like one though. I really
Exactly.
don't. But because I have that tech savvy, so I think that's what's going on.
Hmm.
So I get that now because I have one in all 5, including me, that do stuff for us for the magazines. So you are absolutely right. I have I have me, I have a 50-year-old, a 40, a 30, and and 20-year-olds. So, oh my god.
And and each of them, you can't treat everyone the same, right? It's a need to meet people where they are. And honestly, on my team, I have a little bit of everything as well. And I have to deal with my baby boomers a little bit differently than I did. But now one of my baby boomers is very tech forward. So you can't put people in the box either, but we do need to understand the value centers for each. So I know my younger generation, my alphas, they really on my
Mhm,
team, they love their time and they love autonomy.
mhm,
So if
mhm,
I build, so in our organization, for example, we have a 4-day work week. And they love that. They also love that I don't require them to come in at a particular time and leave a different time. We have a virtual work environment. The only requirement is that we deliver, that we keep our commitments, and that we show up on time and play full out whenever we're there. Apart from that, we that's the only rule we have. I'm keeping them engaged because they love that.
oh, they love that. Don't put them in a box. Oh my
Mhm.
word, which I hey, I you know what? I was that girl, and everybody tried putting me in that box, and I didn't fit the box. And it
Mm.
happens, it happens. So, all right, let's move forward now that we know this is happening, okay? We faced reality.
Yes.
What sparked you actually to become the entrepreneur you are, start the business you have? What happened?
I'll try and keep this short. There are a couple of things that converge at the same time. First, I believe it was a need to have a business that was a lifestyle business. Apart from this, my husband and I are greatly involved in volunteer work. It is our core and our true north in terms of our values and principles. And I really wanted to have my work center around that. I also wanted to do work that was really important, that I felt made a difference. And that when I turned 50, leaving a legacy was super important. So I wanted to do work that would last for generations. So that was like a motivation. Secondary was something that happened to me early on in life, and that was being given an opportunity at a very early age to lead without having the training, the infrastructure, and the support to do it. There was this core belief that I could do it. That's why I was selected at a young age to lead a small team. But no one thought this girl from the inner city. Now we have not just generational issues, we also have cultural differences and norms, right?
Mhm,
And then so you put those two factors together, and then there was the educational miss. At the time, I wasn't college educated, and the people I was leading, they were. So there was all of this in the mix. The readiness piece was missing. And that was something that really stuck with me for years. The third thing is it took me, let's see, I was 17 when I led my first team. Graduated from high school early, did a 2-year internship at Glaxo Wellcome, got hired, promoted, and fast forward, I didn't become a vice president until I was 47 years old. That's a long time to have identified talent, been given opportunities, but never quite being able to land that role. And I realized that there was something missing that I needed to solve for other women like myself. I know that I wasn't the only one. I also recognized that other women, younger, our alphas and our Gen Zers, they weren't going to waste a lot of time waiting to be promoted like I was.
mhm,
And then the fourth reason, this will be the last one, I try and keep it short. The fourth reason was
mhm,
something that happened to me when I was with an executive. I'll never forget. His name is Rocky. and he was a global leader in a billion-dollar enterprise, and we were on the floor with all the alphabet soup. And I'll never forget Rocky sharing with me that I was truly his partner. And I remember him confiding in how we would have these strategy sessions, and when decisions needed to be made, how sensitive some of those topics were, and how my true north was a really good anchor in the organization. And it wasn't long after I left that corporate organization, I launched Virtual Partner. And I really wanted Partner to be a part of the brand at that time. So it was all of those factors converging. But where we are now in 2026 is a direct result, I think, like factor number two of all of those factors brought together.
That is great. Yeah, I love the convergence of everything because everything has to happen in order for your miracle that God has for you and your assignment for it to take place. 100%.
Definitely, definitely.
So what you've been through and everything you said and took to 47 to be VP just because there's so many things just because it's in there. So let's go back. What would you tell your 18-year-old self to make the difference? If you could, if there was a difference or you had to do what you had to do.
Wow, that's a pretty good question. At the time when I was 18 years old, I was given the opportunity to go to UK to work for our headquarters and to have the corporation pay for my college and all the things. My life was about to be set from a professional perspective. And all I wanted to do was be a missionary.
Oh,
And so I did. I Not long after that, those years I did. I moved to South America. I lived in the Dominican Republic, and then I did community work all throughout the United States. However, if I could look back to my 18-year-old self, I would tell her it's important to balance both. It's
mm,
not all or nothing. I would look back and tell her as well that you are enough and you have nothing to prove.
ooh,
Do your do your best, play full out, care and connect. And that's what I would look back and tell my 18-year-old self. Back then, I think I thought that this mission work was that you had to pick one or the other. But I think there is a way to be able to balance out both. I was still blessed for the choice that I made, but I certainly would reaffirm to her, you're okay and it's okay.
but what 18-year-old has that in their heart to go out and be a missionary? I mean, what a blessing.
It was. And this is why I don't have regrets, is that I contribute or attribute the leader that I am today to the work that my family did with me when I was younger, and the work that I did in all of those communities and all of the lives of the people that I touched and that touched mine. And there were countless names that mentored, supported, sponsored, loved, valued, and cherished me along the way. And I feel a sense of responsibility and commitment to pay it forward and to live each moment and day with gratitude.
Yep, definitely. I
And I'm sorry, I also feel like those values and principles are what my clients cherish. I'm often told how that point was so profound or so touching, or that they feel seen. One of my customers said to me, "You see right through me." People that work on my team, but that's not me. I think that was the decision to lead a life that I led early on. That those values and principles, I think, make a difference in the leader I've become today.
in So in beginning, you said that your husband and yourself do so many charitable works and everything. So you have just continued this on and
Yes,
and nonstop, you know,
yes, and
unconditionally.
yeah, and how she rises too. This is mission driven, right?
Yep.
really focus when I think about the funding. We just got a grant after this is our third year of trying to stand up this body of work. And we just got a grant from the Allstate Foundation for this work. So my team, we've been carrying How She Rises on the side as a, and many of my researchers are volunteers for How She Rises, PhDs from large organizations. And I'm really, this volunteer spirit has really stuck with me, and I'm excited about it.
Yep, you have an entrepreneurial, voluntary volunteering spirit that supports so many people. It's just okay. So let's talk about what a game changer would be. If there was like a decision you made, a habit you do, or some kind of strategy that you can share with us that maybe shifted your business.
Yeah, so if I think about game changers, not long ago, I was writing a chapter. I'm a co-author in a book, a collection, and it's Ladies in Tech Navigating Spaces Not Meant for Us. My chapter is called The Architecture of Arrival. And the reason I wrote that chapter is because I went back to something, I stumbled upon an article I wrote in 2009. And I was thinking, wow, you really thought you had arrived back then. And then I realized that not long after that, that my business went on life support. And I tell the story of having a named business in the annals of the business registration organizations that validate your business, but it not functioning because I had taken a gut punch. I lost the person that I cherished the most, my mother, right? The greatest influence in my life at the time. My husband was number two, but my mother, I want to say he was number one, but everyone who knows that woman knows that she was my North Star. Anyway, I recognized that I had built so much, but not the systems to sustain the scale and the pace of the scale that my business has started to take. And so when I experienced sort of the moment of grief, prolonged grief, I realized that the business was dependent on me, right? And without my guidance, it couldn't keep going. So the one thing now, as I think about game changers that we're building, when I restarted Virtual Partner with this new focus, systems, processes, infrastructure, and the ability for it to sustain itself. My team, if I am not there, they can keep going.
Mm.
With the mission continues, right? The rules, the playbooks, the SOPs, everything is there, and the keys of the kingdom. And my number, and my team, my number two is trained, right? So I always tell my husband, if something happens, call. She knows exactly what to do. So the one thing that I would definitely say is a game changer, and that I encourage now looking back, is make sure you have the systems that move the needle, right? And not just that, but make sure that your readiness, in addition to the systems, your own readiness is there as your systems and your business scales. Both, you have to meet both, right? You can't just have the systems
Mhm.
moving fast and you're not. So, for example, if you are a founder and you're going through your next round of funding, perhaps your business and all those things are going, but what about your ability to lead people and keep them motivated and engaged, right? So our readiness and as leaders has to scale with our business.
Thank you. Oh, wow. Nuggets from above. I can tell you that now. What about just something that you wish that most entrepreneurs would kick to the curb, a mindset, a thought process, something like that, because so many of them think, "Oh, this is gonna be easy."
Mm. I think defining success for each person as opposed to what someone else told you the secret to success was. I think there's a big myth out there that hard work is the secret to success. And hard work is just the entry fee. There are millions of women working themselves to exhaustion who aren't getting ahead. And I think the real secret isn't working harder, is building better systems so your work actually counts for something.
Wow. I'm gonna go off on a tangent because I've been on a tangent on this for a little bit, if you don't
Mhm.
mind.
Sure.
So, I just believe that God has given us a purpose, calling, and gifts and assignments.
Mm.
And I have seen so many women not be in their assignment. They're in someone else's assignment.
Mm.
And I find that sometimes causes them to have some breaks that are put on when they're not there. I've been there. That's how I can touch on this 100% because I've been there. I've been in the wrong calling. I've been in someone else's calling that they wanted from me. And I know you've probably heard this before from women. They didn't do what their gifts were and what they were called to do. Am I right?
I 100% agree with you. And it takes some time to settle in and be still enough to identify what it is you value and cherish
Mhm.
and to do the work that you love. Now, some of us, unfortunately, have to do the work because we have to work.
Yeah.
However, if your work is centered around your purpose and your mission, it never has to feel like work.
Nope.
And taking the time to settle in and be still enough to recognize what it is you're here to do, who you're here to serve, right? Who you're here to provide value to. When we take time to do that, to your point, I believe it doesn't need to feel like work. But so many times we're so focused on doing whatever someone else told us we needed to do. If you come from a culture where your parents pick your profession, right? There's that, and those are those nuances. And still, whether you're in a culture like that or not, be still enough to recognize what it is you were meant to do and what it is you need to be doing in moment by moment, fulfilling that obligation or what you were called to do. It brings joy, peace, and satisfaction.
Tiffany, I don't know about you, but I can tell you now that, yeah, I might have known what I'm supposed to do, but it wasn't the right timing yet.
Mm.
So then sometimes you're going to know. However, you're in a waiting pattern, and maybe you have to do little bitty things to get you to where you're supposed to be.
Mm. I think that's pretty powerful in terms of recognizing maybe I'm on a path or a journey.
Mhm.
And this is a stepping stone to that, but I know this isn't the destination.
Right.
And I need to be able to really power through this moment or learn this particular skill set, power skill, or learn this particular lesson, or maybe the lesson is it's time to pivot, right? Whatever that is, leaning into that so that we stay on the path of where we're supposed to be going. And sometimes the destination again isn't always so clear, but being able to sense this is my moment. This is my time to rise for whatever that is or wherever that is in your life.
And that's why she rises, right?
How she rise. Yes, yes, yes. I love it. I love that song. It's my time to rise.
So, um, talking about rising, talking about challenges, talking about everything like that for women, life balance. Uh, how do you
Yeah.
feel about it?
Mm. Well, I am at a place now where I believe that perfection can't be the death of good. I don't necessarily believe in perfect balance. I believe in harmony, responding to the calling. And sometimes that means my business needs a little bit more of me, and it's a conversation with my family, right? They're not in the dark. And sometimes my family needs more of me, and it's
Mm,
a conversation with my team. And I believe that um, there's a need to be present, 100% present, as much as you can. And again, that means that, like last night, I told my husband, I really need rest. And
mm,
so I'm going to go to bed early. So we had a really good connection conversation. And then I needed to exit so that I could take really good care of myself. And he was so supportive. And so this morning when we talked, I woke up and felt so good. And he felt good too that he supported me, right?
Oh,
So I believe in presence, practicing presence. I believe in communicating about what you need. I believe in meeting the moment. And I believe that life comes in balance, but not perfect balance. And I
ooh,
believe too, just an example of, for instance, is like at the dinner table, like this practicing presence, contact or connection, right? Sometimes people bring their phones to the table. I have no judgment for anyone else's family. And our family, connection is really important. So at the dinner table, it's the one place where phones are not allowed. And if there is a phone before some research or something, we both agree, like, do we want to do that now or do we want to do that later? Because once you start to scroll, it's over. So anyway, but practicing presence, we have agreed in our family that connection and being present, that's the one time that we're that way. So anyway,
wow.
that's my view on balance in life.
No, I like that because there's structure inside of it. It's not just, "Oh, yeah, we try to." There's structure in there, and I love the 100% communication, making sure you communicate with those needs are. So, wonder if there's an emergency that comes up on the phone. If they told you beforehand, "Look, we're expecting this phone call at this time, and I know we have that," that's fine, right?
Right. Once we're communicating about it. We're talking about it, you know?
Mhm, and
And,
I
and
I
that
go ahead.
and that honor, I think, is important in your when you as you're building connection and trust with your loved ones.
And that's the same thing you're doing with your family is the same thing you do with your staff as
Mm.
well. You can tell because the way you spoke about your staff is about the same exact ways you spoke about your family and the balance there between the 2.
I'm so glad that you picked up on that. Thank you so much. Because our research has driven us to really focus on organizational reset. And one of the things you may notice if you go to Virtual Partner, our mission is to reinvigorate humanity in the workplace and shorten the leadership runway for women from the front door to the top floor in less than 10 years. But that first part around reinvigorating humanity at work is all about treating our coworkers, our colleagues, our community, stakeholders with the same dignity, awe, and respect we reserve for our most precious loved ones. So that there's not this distinction between the person we are at work and the person we are at home. At core, we're bringing our best selves to work in the way that we lead, not just in the way that we show up and ask that people respect.
100%. I mean, and it comes across from you in every aspect of what you say from
Mhm.
and on your website, everything is so in sync. It's
Mm.
yeah, and you don't see that congruency in a lot of, businesses, workplace, family, and a combination of everything as a whole. So thank you for that and that role model.
Thank you so much. Thank you for acknowledging that. I appreciate that.
What about women who are sitting there and, they're just frustrated, and they're ready to throw in the towel? What would you tell them?
Reach out.
Mm,
Find me. If you're in that messy middle, um, look at your feet, look at your past, and look at all the amazing things you've already done. You are amazing. Most people quit right when they're on the bridge, and right before they reach the peak of the mountain, right? They're down in the valley, and then, out of the valley comes the hill, the climb to the top. And at the top, when you look over, you can look back, you can look ahead, and it's a great place to be. So I would say don't quit, check your blueprint, take a breath, and lay the next brick. And sometimes that means that you need to reach out for some support. And that's why I've built a community. I have She Leads Our Community. You can always a phone a friend. You can reach out to me. Right. There's support that you can have, but don't quit, lay the next brick. And that next brick may be to a pivot. Because sometimes when you're on a bridge, you can take the off ramp, right? You can take the off ramp to someplace else, not the off ramp completely, right? So you can be on the bridge. When you cross the bridge, you can pick a path, and so that next brick that you lay should be to move you forward, right? So
Mhm.
don't quit. You may just need to pivot, may need to redefine, or you may just need to phone a friend.
I love phone a friend. Oh, that's good. That's good. Alright, what about a sneak peek into your future? I wanna peel back the curtain and see what's going on a little bit more.
I am so excited. I can't clearly see how this is going, how far reaching and amazing this is going to be, but I feel it. And
Mhm.
I'm speaking into the universe. I got Michelle Obama. I got I got Oprah Winfrey. I've got all of the amazing women that I'm speaking into the universe. I'm going to come in contact with, and they are going to support How She Rises. But right now, from March 27th, we are laying the next brick, right? We are unsure about the future, but we're bringing partners with us. So for our March 27th launch, where we do our data reveal, we start the day with a workforce intelligence briefing. We then move into our leadership labs. We have an amazing celebratory bridge lunch. So for all the women that are on the bridge lunch is designed for you. We have a surprise there. We have a fireside chat with the CEO, female CEO of Exelon's BG&E, an organization that services 1.3 million customers. And then we follow up with with a workforce leadership forum in the afternoon, and we close out the day with what we call our accelerator after party. So all of the female leaders, their significant others, those from the corporations that are sponsoring us, come out for the evening. We've got a live band, we've got cocktails, heavy hors d'oeuvres, we have a wellness corner, an author corner, and then we also have in our wellness corner, if you come, there are chair massages booked for you. So you set your cocktail down, you get your shoulders rubbed, and then you go listen to music. It's going to be an amazing day. Come for all of it or come to play. Whatever you do, it's all about How She Rises. So men and women are welcome. We have our male architects that are supporting us. We call architects those that are founding, building our community. I'm super excited at the launch. And then before I go, let me just mention the organizations I'm grateful for supporting us. First, it's the Allstate Foundation who have given us a grant to do this important work, the research work, and to move our workforce intelligence with How She Rises to the fore. It's Exelon's Corporation, BG&E, and Pepco, and it's Baltimore County government who's supporting us, as well as Towson University, who's hosting us at the Startup at the Armory. I'm super excited and very grateful for all of your support.
I love that. That is so amazing, and, so she's definitely gonna have to be in the March magazine. This is a definite, I mean, hello. Alright. So let's go to a funner side. I call it the funner side.
Okay.
So, something unexpected about you but we already found out you were a missionary at a young age, but what what is that we would like go, "Really? You did what?"
I think the thing you may not find this fun, but I totally do. My husband and I have 4 children from Southeast Asia. They're from Myanmar. When we say they're our children, we did not give birth to them. We did not legally adopt them, but we did adopt them. And I say they're adopted when kids find themselves in your will and all of that, then they're yours, right? So we are parents of 4 incredible, amazing human beings, and we have fun. They have because they're so young, between 18 and 27, they keep us going. We love them tremendously, and because of them I've learned Myanmar language, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Nicolava, Nicola. So, so I've learned to speak Burmese because of these girls and their brothers, or at least I learned some basic greetings and learned to some of the language, which if you look up Myanmar language, it looks like it's just a bunch of circles. Blows your mind. But that's a
Wow.
little fun fact for me.
That is a fun fact. That is cool. Yes, I do think that is cool and fun. I think almost anything anybody tells me, I'm like, "Oh, really?"
So you see, these two, my husband's African, I'm African American. We got these four Asian babies. This is amazing.
It is amazing. I mean, I love the universal culture language that we all speak and that we love each other unconditionally, and I think that's just so amazing.
Hmm.
So, all right, let's pump up some volume with some music. We already got one. Tell me it again. I want to hear it.
Oh, I love It's My Time to Rise. And then the other one is Alicia Keys. She heard two of her songs will be playing at our conference, and one is Superwoman. Yes, I love that with the S on the chest. Totally, totally love that. So
Mm.
Alicia Keys, if you hear that song, I just love it. And then the brand new Heavies from 1997. Yes, the universe. You're the universe. That's one of the songs that I love. If you play that, it'll get you moving. There's just so many others. But anyway, as I think about the weight that so many women carry, Superwoman is like it's that is it. And so yes.
So, are you gonna have a shirt with a big S on it for us?
I
A
need
hoodie?
to for the oh, you know what?
What?
I
Oh, yeah.
totally need to have that under my suit jacket.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Especially when that song comes on, you're gonna have to walk out to that song when you're wearing
Mhm.
that. I'm sorry.
Love it, love it, love it.
Mm.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, books that build you up.
There's a book that changed my life. Of course, the number one book that I believe builds you up, and this is not to create controversy with anyone. I think um, Proverbs 31 in the Bible should be like a female's national anthem. The celebration of the female, a woman in that book. Okay, so that's in the Holy Bible. If you're thinking about like where is Proverbs 31,
Yep.
and then a secular book that changed my life and the way I relate to my husband and in the workplace. It's a book by Dr. Marilee Adams called Change Your Questions, Change Your Life.
Ooh.
And oh my goodness, in the book, she has this a choice map around what your next thought is to what you just heard in the person in front of you. If you're in the judger pit or if you're on a path because of inquiry leading you to better results in your relationships. Change your questions, change your life. It is a must read, so inspirational. It did change my life. And then she went on to write the book, Change Your Questions, Change Your Results. And then the other one that I love, this particular author is no longer with us,
Mm.
and it is around context count. And that book, it's still out there. You can still get a copy of it. But that one is not just about who you know, but the connection you make with those individuals and building your sphere of influence through real connection.
Okay, all 3 of those books are fabulous. I agree with you 100%. I wanna go first off, that middle one, change your question. Just change the question and you get, like, miracles happen.
I think that's true. There's an unlock to curiosity. Sometimes when we hear things, we ask a question and we hear it, and I heard it and you heard it, but what happens when I say, "Did you mean this is
Mm.
what I think I heard? Is this what you meant?" Or this is what this word means to me. Is that what you meant? I can't tell you how many times in meetings with executives I use the reframe of the bias that I may have in my mind that gives definition to words and meanings, when I do that, check that assumption at the door and I ask a question, it unlocks so much more. We have deeper, better strategy sessions and we design better results.
And let's go back to the Bible. Yeah.
Yes.
So I was 19 and a half, 20,
Mm,
and I was told there's 31 proverbs, right? Read one a day for
mhm,
each day, every single day of your life, and you'll
mm,
become that woman that you're called to be.
mm. I love that with intention. I do. I do. Recently, I reread it, and that's why I called that one first. And I was in a conversation with a young woman who was questioning her value as a female.
Mm,
And I was reminding her of, for those who are listening that believe that we were created, I know not everyone does, but I reminded her that the creator valued women way more than some of the men throughout history. And Proverbs 31 was evidence of that. So when we unpack that, I unpacked it with her and then I said, I got to go read this myself. And I reread it myself. I felt so empowered. I felt so seen, so valued, so heard. I also felt that there was a place for all the layers of the woman that I was and that I could become.
yep, and I find that the 31 encapsulates all the other 30 into one
Mm.
gorgeous mechanism.
Summation. Yes.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
much wisdom there.
Pray for wisdom, you get it. What can we say? All right.
One last thing on that.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, I was a part of a summer camp, my organization, and I got a group of volunteers together for YAR Beauty School. They host a summer camp for underprivileged, underrepresented communities every year. And so I got a team of like 9 volunteers, and every day we led an empowerment segment for the girls. And these girls had no idea when we held up a picture of King Solomon and his wealth and his prestige and prominence compared with who that could be likened to today. And so we're going through that. We're like, who do you think this is? They're like Jeff Bezos, and Microsoft, like Apple, like who are? And we were like, this is King Solomon from the Bible. They couldn't believe the success of a man
Mhm.
that had so many words of wisdoms penned forward to us. So I said, would you listen to all these successful people that yes? So then we should also listen to Solomon. King Solomon had so many words of wisdom, and Proverbs 31 is included in that.
Mhm. Oh, oh my God, the education everybody has just received.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you for letting me go there. As I recognize that there are boundaries, in a professional world and all that, but
I don't
it
have boundaries here.
oh,
Nope. Nope.
so
I
thank you
know
so
I mean, I have boundaries for my own world, but I don't have boundaries when we're doing this because I feel that there's something somebody's gonna say that's gonna
much.
knock on the heart of somebody who's listening. 100%.
Mm,
Yep. All
thank
right.
you.
Let's talk about the superpower for just 24 hours. What would it be if you had one?
Superpower. Maybe my superpower, what would it be? Perhaps teleportation.
That'd be fun.
Uh, if I could just pop into the office of every woman who's feeling lonely or stuck in her career, I give her a high five. I tell her she was enough. I leave her a copy of this new blueprint for her life and tell her, I see you at the top, girl. You got this, before zooming on to the next one.
You can teleport into my life anytime and give me that encouragement you wanna give. Go for it.
Ah.
All right. Motivation on demand. Do you believe in motivation? If you do, What do you do to get that motivation if something's going on?
Oh, I used to just rely on like my gut, right? Of how I'm feeling. But now I have to rely on the data, right? Sometimes the stories we tell ourselves when we fact check them are not true. So sometimes if our my tank is low, I will sit down and I'll write a gratitude list. And that makes me really, really reflect on really how far I've come and all the gifts and blessings that are happening. While I may have summed up whatever it is in one thing, when I do that, I unpack so much more. And so yes, so I believe that gratitude is my path to motivation because it causes me to see what's really happening when I look at the data. And when I just move that forward, the data is telling us, just looking at women, there are $233 billion lost every year because women are not tapped and activated into leadership. That number makes me realize this work that I'm doing isn't a job, it's a rescue mission for all those women that are on the bridge trying to figure out which way to go and organizations trying to figure out how to keep them. That gets me out of bed every time. I'm like, oh, do I really want to go to work? Yep, you have important work to do.
Okay, so we're back into your 18-year-old self, and
Yes.
your mission is still paying it forward in a missionary role that you have. Oh,
Can you believe? I don't think I ever thought about that until this call today. So thank you. That's
okay.
why this feels so congruent. Like this just feels like what I should be doing. Thank you for making that connection.
Yeah. Yeah, oh my god, I mean, it speaks to my heart. So there you go. All right. Um, what's the best way for our audience to just stay connected with you 100%? Because, I mean, you're just a miracle woman that walks in faith 100%.
Thank you so much for saying that. On my website, you will go to virtualpartner.biz, and there is a tab for the podcast that says try to get on there. That'll give you a link to a 15-minute call with me. So if you want to talk real time, schedule a call with me anytime. If you want to just connect with me, I'm on LinkedIn, and you can go LinkedIn/in/virtual partner. You can find me on Facebook. I'm Coach Tiffany O. On Instagram, I'm Coach Tiffany O. You can reach me on any of those communities. And if you send me a message, tell me that you met me or you heard about me on this call so that I can make the connection of what you heard and remember this moment here with the real female entrepreneur.
Yay, you're so wonderful. So, do you mind leaving us with a mic drop moment that maybe that we haven't talked about yet that you wanna share with our audience?
Hmm. Perhaps it's this, and that is and I'll just give you this the backstory. I come from inner city, right? There's just a lot on the backstory. You are not a victim of your
Mm.
circumstances. You are the architect of your future. If the house you're living in feels too small for your dreams, don't just complain about the walls. Redraw the blueprint and build a bigger house.
Wow. Build a bigger house. Oh, guys, that is just metaphorical here. She means your whole life. She means everything. Tiffany, mwah, thank you for being here. You're
Thank
amazing.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Female Entrepreneurs Magazine. I hope you found inspiration, actionable tips, and a sense of connection with our incredible community of driven women. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, leave a review, and share the episode with fellow entrepreneurs who are ready to elevate their game. Remember, your success is just the beginning, and we're here to support you in every step of the way. Until next time, keep shining, keep thriving, and remember, you have the power to create the business and life of your dreams. Stay inspired, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.